Welcome to the MSP Corner podcast. Before we kick off our show, we would like to share what our main objective is at the MSP Corner. Our main goal is to help CEOs build profitable and self-sustainable IT service firms. We are not just providing tools for IT firms, we will be sitting in meetings with you to ensure your IT firm stays on track. The first area we are focused on, strategic sales. IT firms are stuck selling technology or IT support. We will provide you with the blueprint so you position your firm as an added value to your prospects. We will have framework on how to sell value so you influence the prospect into selecting your firm. The second area we see many IT firms struggle in is marketing. 90+% of businesses rely on antiquated marketing methods. The most popular choice, word of mouth. We have proven methods on how to attract the ideal prospect. Our framework will include how to become the online authority and be the business influencer for an industry. The third component to our package, scaling. IT firms walk away from opportunities because they lack the bandwidth or skill set to scale. We have lined up reputable businesses so our members can hire on-demand resources that will allow them to scale their business. The fourth area we will offer help in, selecting the right tools. In order to deliver value, you need the right tech stack. Our platform will offer information on products that are the ideal choice for MSPs. The fifth area we will offer help in is with documentation. Templates are a critical component when building an MSP. We will have contracts, proposals, SOWs, collateral, and much more in the template section. You will have every document you need to start up your managed IT service business. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go to our next podcast.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the MSP Corner podcast. I am your host, Fernando Leon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Gregory Morabiec. And today we're going to discuss a topic on content strategy. What is it and how to create one? And, it's a two-part series. So today, obviously, we have part one. But before we get started, let's quickly go over the talking points or the agenda, so to speak. So first up, we always have an introduction on what we're going to be talking about. Key takeaways. What is a content strategy? And then we're going to go over 5 steps, which is defining your goals, researching your audience, analyzing your competition, running a content audit, brainstorming, quick plug on the MSP Corner, and then we just have a quick conclusion. So let's start this up. So it's 2025, all right, and I'm sure you've all heard that content is essential for promoting your business and building authority, trust, and credibility with potential customers. So marketers get it. We get it. But who doesn't get it are people who typically are in the IT services industry, low tech. They just don't understand the concept. But we're here to explain it and create frameworks so you guys take control of your content strategy and really more about taking control of driving traffic to your site. So, but here's the catch with all of this content creation topics is great content doesn't just happen. It requires a solid strategy, and a successful content plan needs to align with your goals. It keeps your audience engaged. It prioritizes quality and unique quality. It needs to be unique. And really important, you need to track results. And mastering the art of creating a strategy tailored to your business can boost your ROI and deliver real results. So if you want to know the key elements of an effective content strategy, keep listening. It's a long topic, so we split the show into 2 parts. So let's get into some key takeaways. We're going to we're going to discuss today. So, well, creating a solid content creation strategy helps marketing teams make the most of their time and resources. So, this starts with setting clear goals and getting to know your audience. And that's where I see a lot of businesses fail. They they don't set any goals. They don't really research the audience. They don't create an ideal client profile or what some marketers call personas, because goals guide the type of content to prioritize. And while audience research reveals the topics and formats they're most likely to engage, you need to obviously uh, you research the format because this is where you're going to engage your audience. So, and beyond creating content, it's crucial to plan how you'll distribute it and measure it. And this is what's going to uh, generate opportunities for you. There's just no way around it, and it takes a lot of planning. It takes a a lot of thought process. But once you get this in place, once you've templatized the the content creation strategy, you've already done your research on your on your ideal client, their pain points, their challenges, where do they go to find information, you're going to hit pay dirt. So it takes a process, but let's just continue going. So let's quickly go over what is a content strategy, just so you guys have a clear definition as to what this is, because this is exactly what we did. A content creation strategy is essentially a roadmap for creating, sharing, managing, and tracking marketing content that resonates with your potential customers at every stage of their journey. And the core components of an effective content marketing strategy include: you got to set those goals, they got to be clear, and these objectives, they need to be all lined up with what you're trying to accomplish. Choosing the right types of content. You need to use tools to research your audience and determine which keywords are relevant, because you can't just be picking any type of keyword you think is your clients is what your clients are entering. You got to really consider their challenges. What are their pain points? What are disruptors in their business? But we'll get to that and down the road here. But deciding which platforms are best to distribute your content, that is going to be key on building a brand, because social media now is playing a factor in your authority level. Google, surprisingly, I learned this um, through a webinar. Google is tracking who likes your articles, how many likes you get, who's leaving comments, how many downloads. I mean, they're able to track all of this information. So this is only going to help you. This is only going to add to your authority level, your trust level, your experience level. Every uh, piece of uh, there's an acronym out there. It's EEAT. Experience, experience, expertise, authority, and trust. That is what Google tracks. That is what the formula is to their to determining if you're going to be the authority. And while the main goal is to drive traffic and boost conversions, a good strategy also focuses on increasing brand awareness, building trust, and establishing, like I said, authority. Ultimately, it should align with your business objectives, like attracting more clients or enhancing brand recognition. All right, so step one, defining your goals for your content strategy. So great content isn't just about racking up views or clicks. There's you could it's more than that. It's about serving a specific purpose, whether it's boosting brand awareness, attracting new customers, re-engaging past ones, or driving sales. Your content should align with clear objectives. For example, in-depth pieces like case studies or white papers might not be ideal for engaging users at the top of your sales funnel. But these assets are excellent for building authority and converting prospects closer to making a purchase. So you got to determine where is the buyer in the cycle, right? Are they at the top or are they at the bottom? Do you need to nurture them or are they ready? You ready to close them? And meanwhile, short SEO friendly blog posts are perfect for increasing brand visibility, building that authority, and generating organic leads, effectively capturing attention at the top of the funnel, because it's where everybody, most leads start. They start at the top. But blogs are a great way to build up that the top of the funnel, as are, I believe, podcasts are also. So defining your goals is essential for crafting a solid content strategy. If your IT service firm provides, let's say, SOC services for the medical industry, focusing on creating a YouTube channel that, let's say, educates the industry on keeping their network secure, or an email campaign sharing case studies, or announcing your latest podcast on a discussion about the medical industry and their security concerns. You can turn this into a smart goal. So, like, let's be very specific. Let's create one. Let's create a what I would call a roadmap to how you're going to start attracting and building that authority. So the first one would be creating. Start small, be specific, like, or in order for me to let me be specific here, is where you create one blog, one short form adverts, and one podcast each week. I think everybody can make time for that, and throw in a bi-weekly newsletter to keep your audience engaged and informed. Now, creating one blog and one short form advert and one podcast will probably take you 2 to 3 hours a week. And I don't think that's much to ask if you're committed. Do it on a weekend. If you're busy all week, take a few hours on a weekend to create these. It doesn't take long. And if you need my advice to do it, I'm here to help you guys out. Now, you need to make it measurable. You need to use Google Analytics to determine which topic is popular with your audience, and keep it achievable, right? Focus on the right audience and platform. Start slow. And like I was saying, write a blog each week. How about we keep it bite sized, right? Write a blog each week and send a personalized email to your subscribers, right? You can automate this. And all of this can be done with AI. And the emails can also be automated and there's lots of tools out there. And we have resources in place on the MSP Corner, so you guys can tap into those resources, because the goal is to stay relevant. Align everything with your goal of gaining customers, right? Try with email subject lines, like, you need to attend. You need to try different subject lines to see what attracts your audience, like top 5 things to do to keep your medical office HIPAA compliant. Right? You need subject lines to catch their attention, and set a timeline, right? Outline your steps and stick to deadlines. You need to make a commitment. So I think starting with blogs and emails, and slowly implement a podcast show or a YouTube channel is can be ambitious, but it needs to be done. This is what's going to add to your authority level online, and essentially you're building your brand, because when you create a YouTube channel and you are giving great advice to the medical industry on how to stay secure, how to keep their employees from falling for phishing attacks, best applications for the medical industry so they work efficiently, communications for so offices run more productively. I mean, there's so many topics that you can talk about. I mean, Greg, could you even think of a couple of topics you would want to discuss for the medical industry? I mean, right now you and I are creating shows for the biotech industry, but let's say we wanted to get, because I know you worked at a fairly decent sized doctor's office for a while. What would you what would be your top three topics you would want them to get educated on?
Well, you said something earlier you got to be careful of, and that's using AI to, maybe produce content. I wouldn't do that. I would more use AI for ideas. Give me an idea of what content I should write about. So if you ask AI, what's trending in the biomedical firm IT arena, it'll probably give you some good ideas, and those are great to use to write about. But if you can, you should write about what you've done recently. So you said I work in a doctor's office. Every week something's going to go on. We have to cover like some X-ray machine images and a way to troubleshoot some of that and figure out, like, you have to have a certain kind of X-ray machine storage device, and you could talk about that. I mean, you could do all these different things based on what you're doing at the time.
Mhm.
Don't think what you're doing, even if it's mundane. We had this thing where people were bringing in CDs,
Ooh,
right,
yeah,
of
yeah.
their X-rays. They were just bringing in the CD of the X-ray or DVD. So we had to have CD, X-ray, DVD players on all the computers that the receptionist was going to use, and then those DVDs they'd have to transfer them over into the X-ray software thing, and it was a hassle. Could you streamline that? Could you make stuff like that easier? So you should go where you are and look at what you're doing and come up with ideas based on what you're doing, so you know the answers. So and those are great. Things that are happening is what you should be writing about.
There, you know what? There are tools out there that, and like you said, just like you said, the AI tool. And I should add a disclaimer that a lot of marketers are going on the record, and these are very experienced marketers with SEO, and they're encouraging people to use AI to write content. But there
I
is a
wouldn't.
catch.
It's
There
not.
is a
Yeah,
catch.
it's not your
There's
words.
there's a catch. There is a catch that you need to make it your own. You need to you need to edit it so it's more humanized, because you're right. You read, if you read it, and Google has they scan these documents to determine, oh, this was written by AI. So they, even Google knows, they look for specific keywords that aren't used every day. And if they find words in your document, like there's a very popular one that Google you or sorry, AI uses, delve. You we're gonna delve into this topic. It's like, who uses delve? Nobody uses delve, right? We dive, or we're gonna broach this subject, right? So there's words that are definitely littered in a document, so you do have to make it your own. I agree. But you have to polish it up. You just have to. There's just no way around it. I would say that 75% or 25% needs to be polished. 75% is fine. But I don't know if you have a tool to scan, Gregory, if for you that tells you. I don't know if you have those tools accessible, but if it tells you, oh, this is generated by AI, I would love to test our documentation on that. So, but let's
Well, I
go on.
mean, what's happening is Google is spidering and scanning your site,
Yeah.
and they find it, and then they
Yeah.
just discount it. They don't even tell you. They
They
find
don't.
that content, and they
Yeah.
just say, nope, nope, sorry.
Yeah, no, no. I know. It's awful. They're awful. But anyways, let's move this on because we'll stay here all night. But here's a really important one. You need to research your audience before you create any type of content. There's just no way around it, right? You get and remember that it can only you're only going to succeed if you truly understand your target audience. There's just no way around it. It's impossible, right? You can't just determine, oh, anybody who enters, let's write about IT support or why small businesses need IT support, right? You need to take time to research the industry you want to target, their challenges, how they consume content, and the social media platforms they use. And these insights are essential for effective content planning, and it's a great way to start building up a obviously a customer profile because you need to know your audience's behavior, their preferences, challenges, because this is going to help you focus your content strategy and choose the right channels. And for instance, let's say like case studies, they're great for showing the value of B2B software, while younger audiences often leans toward TikTok, right? The consumers, the young consumers, they'll lean to TikTok and Instagram. And older users like myself and Gregory, we lean towards Facebook and LinkedIn. We're professionals, we're mature adults. So we'll we will lean towards Facebook and LinkedIn. So you got to start using tools like Google Analytics and social media insights to learn about your audience's interests, their buying habits. So, and don't forget to explore industry and marketing reports. They're valuable resources for refining your approach. All right. So next up is analyzing your competition. I really, this is a topic I'm going to want to discuss with you, Greg, because I'm going to give you some feedback on this. But uh, you know, as I go to webinars and I read books, a lot of them say you need to analyze your competition. So I'm going to want your feedback after I give my point here. Is you know, looking at competitor content can give you a head start with your own content strategy. So you need to start identifying 2 to 3 competitors and analyzing their content. So check out their topics, formats. And what I mean by formats is like blogs, videos, their social media presence. And you got to do your homework. It's like, how often are they posting? Pay attention to what gets the most engagement. Who's leaving comments or how many comments are left? Are they getting a lot of shares, a lot of likes? And spot any gaps in their content, right? So you need to go in there and dive into the user comments to see what how that content resonates with their audience. And as part of your analysis, focus on engagement metrics, right? Like I was just saying, the likes and shares. What isn't working? What is working? Where are they making mistakes? And there is a way to determine what keywords they're focusing on. And there's tools like Uber Suggest can help you analyze their keywords and, find gaps that you can capitalize on. Um, so how do you feel about that? How do you feel, Greg, about going to a competitor? I mean, they would have to be targeting the same industry, right? And I don't know if do you go as far as saying same size of organizations? Because I'm going to give everybody a warning right now. SEO traffic, you're going to attract offices that have 5 to about 40 to 50 people. You're going to get those all day, every day, or at least every week. And you will occasionally, at least every quarter, you'll get offices that will have 200 plus employees. But the majority, I'd say 90% of your leads will be offices that have 5 to 40 to 50 employees. But Greg, how do you feel about going into the enemy camp and doing an analysis on what they're doing with their content creation, their social media presence, their overall marketing strategies?
Yeah, it sounds like it's cheating, but it's not. It's good stuff. You want to just, you want to be within the marketplace where you're at. You want to also be like similar to your neighbors. Why do they look different than us? Don't get that question looked at asked. So, I would look at my competitors' websites all the time, all day long.
Well, here's the thing. Here's why I am against it. And this, we're a little unique because at single point of contact, we only work with IT service firms. But 99% of IT service firms are not even focused on marketing. They did the numbers on the billions of websites that are on that are on the web today. There's billions of websites, and they already determined that Google, because you need to index your website, and that means Google scans your website and it determines, okay, this is a great build, they have great content, blah blah blah. What do you think that percentage was of billions of websites that Google has officially indexed?
It's got to be like in the teens, probably 12,
Yeah,
10, 13%.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I think it's under 20%. At,
Yeah.
do you even understand the opportunity that IT service firms have? Because a lot of these guys that are doing SEO, they give up too fast. It's too hard. It's just something that doesn't excite them. They want to do it. They don't want to hire an SEO firm, which is fine. 90% of this stuff can be done by one individual, but you do need an SEO firm to help you with the backlinks. But 90% of this could be done by you. So, but yeah, am I gonna look to somebody who doesn't really prioritize marketing? Do any of our competitors prioritize marketing? Our competitors, we outrank our competitors that make billions of dollars. Google considers us a higher authority on a Google search than our competitors. So that tells you something. It tells you that you don't need to be this behemoth to be at the top of the organic search, and you don't have to have billions of dollars to be the number one organic choice. Google doesn't look at that. They look at your content, your authority level, experience, expertise, and your trust. You're a trusted advisor. So yeah, would I wouldn't even know where to start with our competitors. Well, I think we only have we don't have very many, but um it's an interesting concept. I think that if we were like a Bloomingdale's and we're like, well, what's Nordstrom's doing, right? What is Nordstrom focused on? What ad campaigns are they running, or what's Louis Vuitton doing, right? Chanel could be looking over Louis Vuitton's shoulder and determining, okay, this is their social media campaign, these are their promotions. I don't think they even have luxury brands don't have promotions, but they can do those type of firms. Boy, yeah, you can get a lot of information on those type of firms. All right, here's another one that's another tip for you guys that are considering the SEO path. You need to run a content audit. It's a valuable way to spot gaps, refresh outdated material, and repurpose what you already have in place, right? For instance, an older blog post could be updated with fresh stats, or a webinar recording turned into a blog. And this also helps you with the following: which content drives traffic, which is engaging your audience, and what's converting. So you need to decide what to update, remove, recycle, right? And then discover new SEO opportunities, like add keywords, or if you're going to go after a certain industry. I'm all about targeting one industry. And then once you master that industry, move on to another industry. So you're going to add keywords, fill gaps by adding, additional content on how you are a value add to, let's say, the manufacturing industry. Check relevance and accuracy, right? Ensure content is fresh and aligned with your audience's needs. And this is a big one: eliminate duplication. Merge or delete content to avoid overlap and keyword cannibalization. That's a big one. That's a big no-no, right? The keyword cannibalization, that is frowned on by Google. So be careful with that. And align with search intent, right? Ensure your content addresses user needs and adjust as necessary. And I'm going to emphasize this right now. We're not talking about you. Your content, your clients buy from you because you understand them, right? They don't understand your services. They need to know that you understand their pain points, their challenges. All right, so to get started, inventory all your content in a spreadsheet by type: web pages, blog posts, social media posts, emails, and any other type of media, but include columns for topics like target audience, content stage, and analyze how each piece performs against your goals to focus your future efforts where they matter most. Because if you're dedicating uh, 90% of your time on creating content that's not producing or converting any visitors, you got to look at that other 10% to see what, if that really is where you should be putting all your energy. So you got to really dive deep into what is attracting your audience, what is converting your visitors. So, and what is producing quality leads, because you want quality leads. You just don't want visitors. You don't want just visitors coming to your website and looking at your pretty site. That doesn't matter. We want conversions. Who cares if you have thousands and thousands of visitors? You want to convert those visitors into opportunities. All right, last up is brainstorming content topics and formats. Because now that you've worked through the steps, you're ready to create a content strategy that aligns with your business goals. You're going to connect with your audience, and this is what's going to support your SEO efforts. So with clear goals in mind, start brainstorming ideas to engage your audience, boost brand awareness, and so you start attracting new customers. So use what you've learned so far, like leveraging your customer persona to target the right people and addressing content gaps identified in your audit. And don't forget your competitor analysis. And then you can tie it all together with your SEO strategy by setting keyword targets based on your findings. And last, choose the best format for each topic, keeping your audience in focus. For example, you're going after the medical industry and you've determined that, hey, there's only 5 Spotify IT channels for the medical industry, and all 5 have thousands and thousands of downloads, and they're crap. They're not really solving problems, right? They're not really uh, creating great content for doctors. So that might be an opportunity for you to create your own podcast so you can talk about, hey, this is how we solve challenges for the medical industry. This is what we do, and this is what medical offices should have in place to secure their network, right? Multi-factor authentication, data loss prevention, data loss prevention, and so on and so on. I mean, the topics are endless. We write one blog and we create 5 or 6 shows from one blog. So I think some people go backwards. They do a webinar and then they write 5 blogs, and then that 5 blogs they create 10 podcasts or whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you're creating content, that's the end. That's what the end result should be. Create content. All right, so just a quick plug on the MSP Corner. Gregory and we're on a mission. We're creating content like this to educate our members, and we're founders of an MSP. We know the struggles many of you go through. We relate, we understand, and that's why we're still in the game, because we love what we do. But this is the reason we developed a platform, and it's designed to help guide you through these type of challenges. So we're going to be offering frameworks that solve this marketing and selling challenges. Plus, we're lining up resources to help you with outbound campaigns, such as cold calling, email automation, SEO, PPC, scaling your business, right? You have a large opportunity. Let's say you're a full-time IT director, but you want to be your own boss. You want to build your own MSP, but the director of IT position is full-time, and you're like, hey, I want to build my own business. I'm an ambitious guy, but I have a family and I need to put food on the table. We're going to have resources for you guys so you guys can do that. There's a group called the Intergrid East Coast, and they line you guys up with resources so you can deliver a 24/7 help desk, a SOC, boots on the ground. David McGilvery, he'll soon be a guest on one of our shows, but people like that will help your organization grow and scale at your pace. All right, I'm going to have a quick conclusion here because we're at the end of the show, and building a solid content strategy isn't rocket science, obviously, because I did it. I do it every week, but putting it into action on a consistent basis is going to be your biggest challenge. It's tricky. It's easy to get lazy because it's very boring. It's time consuming, and you got to really put a lot of thought into it. And it's so not sexy. It's not fun. But you make a commitment, right? I know we went over half of the steps because we got part 2 next week, so stay tuned for the next show. But just a reminder, it took my MSP 1 year to get on Google's first page. We're the #1 organic choice out there. So we know what it takes to make that happen. And that accomplishment has given us a healthy ROI. Greg, any last words?
Nope.
All right, guys, thanks again for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member on the MSP Corner site. And please share our link with a CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to sign up to be a member on www.mspcorner.com. Please share our link with a CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. Have an awesome day.